He's finally done it, becoming Turkey's 11th president. Abdullah Gul's detractors say he threatens to undermine the secular principles of the republic. He insists he will protect them. So will he deliver, and what does it mean for Turkey? This is Inside Story. Hello, I'm Imran Garda. Turkey has elected a former Islamist to the post of the president in a first for secular Turkey. Foreign Minister Abdullah Gul won in a third round of voting after months of political tension. Gul's first bid in April was blocked by the secular elite, including the military, which triggered early parliamentary elections. Despite professing to be a leader for all Turks, Turkey's secular establishment suspects he harbors a secret Islamist agenda. The Armed Forces Chief General Yaşar Büyükanıt suggested as much. On Monday, he said he could see, quote, centers of evil seeking to undermine the secular republic. Well, in his inauguration speech, Turkey's new president had this to say.
My capacity as President of the Republic, swear upon my chastity and honor. Before the Turkish nation and before history, to safeguard the existence and independence of the state, the indivisible integrity of the country and the nation, and the sovereignty without restriction or stipulation of the nation, to abide by the Constitution, the rule of law, democracy, principles and reforms of Atatürk, and the principle of the secular republic.
Well, Gul, considered as an experienced politician, is distrusted by Turkey's secular establishment, the army generals in particular, because of his Islamist roots. Born in 1950, Gul is a founding member of the Justice and Development Party. He became a member of the Turkish parliament in 1991. Gul is the architect of the democratic reforms necessary to allow admission to the European Union. He presided over the launch of Turkey's talks with the Union after becoming Deputy Prime Minister and then Foreign Minister in March 2003. As Turkey's Foreign Minister, Gul's overall performance in the last 4 years has been taken by many Western powers as evidence of his new moderate ideas. Well, joining us today are our guests in Istanbul, Canan Aren, lawyer and women's rights defender, and in London, Damla Aras, researcher at Ankara's International Strategic Research Organization. Ms. Aras, if I could come to you first, ma'am, how symbolic is this presidential change?
Well, it is all obviously it is psychological rather than based on some realities. Really, as you know, Turkey is a very young republic, which was established in 1923, and this is the first time we are witnessing a president who has with Muslim background and who is practicing Muslim, and obviously this seems to contradict with the secularist establishment's rhetoric and argument which they have been trying to implement and root in the Turkish society. However, let's put the elite and military aside. This election shows the will of the grassroots in Turkey, which is generally secular but at the same time conservative. So, in my opinion, it's a good demonstration of the Turkish grassroots, the Anatolian people.
Canan Aren, do you agree that this shows the will of the people on the ground, the grassroots of the Turkish Republic?
Actually, I think I doubt about it, because this grassroots is prepared by the previous, not the governments, but by previous times. They gradually changed the educational system. They started sending young girls, very young, at the age of 4 or 5, to Quran courses, and then this is how they are changing the society, and they are changing the values, and there will be a time that the whole Turkish society will become fundamentalist.
But Ms. Aren, isn't that the crux of democracy, that if a group, or a party or people want to change the society, they have every right to, and if it's the will of the people to elect 47% of the vote, to win 47% of the vote for the AK party, then so be it. That's democracy.
Yes, 47% of the votes for AK party and 33% against AK party. So it is, I mean, you can look from both sides. And democracy does not mean that the less popular or less voted parties will change the society or will direct the society. And as I'm saying, you can change the whole society, you can prepare the conditions, and then the whole society will change, and you can say that, well, this is democracy. No, it's not democracy. We are losing the secular educational system. This is very sad. And Abdullah Gul comes from a fundamentalist background, and you cannot change your ideas and yourself upon a day or in one day or in one night. So I'm sorry, but I do not believe in him at all.
Damla Aras, do you believe that there wasn't a viable alternative to not only Abdullah Gul as president, but the AK party as the governing party?
Actually, rather than the rhetoric, we need to look at the action, right? I mean, the actions demonstrate the truth. Since November 2002 elections, what we have seen in Turkey, obviously there hasn't been a miracle, but so-called secularist political parties in Turkey, including the Republican Party, had many opportunities to take the country from the corruption, from the conflict, from bad economy, but somehow, one way or another, they could not do this. And regardless their background, we witnessed that AK party seemed to be doing quite well job since then. As I said, actions are the most important evidence. Having said so, of course, nobody is expecting Abdullah Gul becoming the the most secularist person in the world. He's a Muslim guy, and obviously they will still stay conservative. But this does not mean that their beliefs will necessarily conflict, will clash with the Kemalist principles in Turkey. And on the contrary, there might be a very good convergence, which we might be witnessing, which is not only good for Turkey, but also for all other Muslim nations in all over the world. And if you look at the, one more thing I would like to add here, if you look at the surveys and the polls, you will realize that there is a considerable decrease in hijabis at covering ladies in Turkey after AK party's rule. So I think we need to move away from cliches and giving Iran, sort of Saudi Arabia, fearsome messages to the societies. But we can say, look, Turkey in the 21st century, it is converging, it is evolving, its democracy is evolving, its military is evolving, its Muslim party is evolving. And I also believe that it is high time to drop this Islamist or fundamentalist rhetoric from our lexicon as well. And the best example of this is the new cadres of AK party, which is full with well-educated women, a lot of westernized Turks.
All right, Damla Aras, I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I'm sorry. I want to bring in Canan Aran. Canan Aran, do you agree there that perhaps they're not Islamists or fundamentalists? However, they're Democrats. They've won the election. They just happen to be Muslims. Do you buy that argument?
No, I insist that they are fundamentalists and they are Islamists, and this is just, it is an awful hypocrisy going on in Turkey at the moment.
Ma'am, what are the signs of fundamentalism? What are the signs of an encroaching fundamentalism?
I'm saying, well, there was a survey which was published, I don't know, a few months ago. Now, those women who are not covering their heads are 30%. So they are 70%, it seems, at the moment. So this is what I'm saying. Gradually, they are taking steps, and step by step, when you start changing the educational system, when you start playing with the education of girls, then all Turkey will cover their heads. To cover the head is not important in one sense, but in another sense it is very important, because I do not think that the God is interested in the sexual life of men so much. So what happens if the hair of woman is seen? This is so funny, and that's why I'm saying they are hypocrite, and I do not believe in whatever they are saying. We will see by the time. I cannot say anything from now.
All right, ladies, stay with us. Time for a short break now. We'll talk more about Turkey and the challenges accompanying the election of Abdullah Gul with an Islamist past. Do stay with us.